Hi there, it's Beth from Scrapping Wonders, and I'm up with a Calico Collage mixed media layout here. So what I've got going on is my B6 mixed media traveler's notebook insert, and that pink side there was a demonstration that I was doing for a live video a while back, and I didn't have anything on the left side. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I did know that I was going to do some collaging. And I didn't want the left side to not have any color on it, so I just added this color. Granted, yes, most of it gets covered up, but in real life, you can really see the color behind it in the areas that it's there. Then I have this paper. It's super old. It's just a 6x6 piece of paper, but it's got like this old brick / wall kind of look to it, and it really matched the fairy garden theme. That is the kit that I'm working with from Calico Collage, and I thought it went perfectly. I will definitely be leaving the links below of where you can get these printables. But they are amazing, as everything Calico Collage has in her shop is. I really, at first, I have never liked printables before, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, because of the simple fact that I have to go and print it. Like, who wants to do that? But her stuff is so awesome that it's so worth it. The images and the colors, and if you print on the right paper, you can get amazing stuff. So I'm printing this. I actually printed this on Nina Vellum Bristol, which is about a 67-pound weight paper, so it's not as heavy as my 110-pound cardstock, but it's beautiful. It's a bright white, and the colors print lovely on it. And yes, it is printed on my inkjet, so I am going to get some smearing going on once I add the collage medium, but I'm kind of okay with that. I left the part of me collaging everything in for the simple fact that I wanted you to see my process, and I wanted you to see how I do this. Normally, I use matte medium to adhere them onto the page, but I was like, you know what, let me try it with just the glue this time and see what happens. And it worked out lovely, and I was able to go a lot faster. Faster is not necessarily the thing that you need to happen, but I really like that I was able to get these papers stuck down quicker than if I had used matte medium to stick them down. And again, like I said, I left the spacing in between the papers so that you could see some of the color, and also so that when I do the other stuff that you're going to see a little bit later in the video, it really makes a difference. And I really love the look that I end up getting. What else? What am I doing here? I'm still collaging. Okay, had a brain fart for a second. I was like, what am I doing? All right, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about collage medium. So the collage medium comes from Tim Holtz. You can grab it at Michael's. You can use a coupon, and it makes it fairly inexpensive. Normally, I'm going to be honest, I love my liquid matte medium from Liquitex for this process. But I get a lot more smearing, and I think that's because it's liquid matte medium. Now, I probably could have gotten the same thing if I didn't use the liquid matte medium, but I really like this collage medium from Tim Holtz. So I didn't get a lot of smearing. It's a thicker paste, it's a thicker consistency, and it's supposed to be for collaging. So if you haven't checked it out, I highly suggest you grab some collage medium. It's awesome. It's a product that I have to say I'm really loving right now. Now you can see my next step here is I am doing a glazing technique. I love this technique, and I'm using golden raw umber as the base, and then I'm using golden glazing medium. So you mix them together, and then you paint it on, and what ends up happening is I get this really nice vintagey look, and that's what I wanted. That's what these papers spoke to me, was a vintagey look. I have to be honest though, whenever I do this technique, my first base, I never leave it on long enough. Here in Florida, I have to leave this on for at least 2 minutes to get the look that I want. So I went ahead and I did another coat. But you can see how cleanly that rubs off with the glazing medium. And that's because the glazing medium allows the paint to dry really, 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 really slow. So when you leave this on for about 2 minutes here in Florida, it's definitely goes with the, you know, the weather and the humidity in your area. But when you leave it on a bit longer, I'm really able to get that nice vintagey look that I was going through for. And also, it gets stuck in those nooks and crannies, and that's what I wanted, and that's why I left the spacing between the papers so that my paint would get stuck in there. And I was really, really happy with the way this turned out and the way it looks. So then I went ahead and dried everything, and then the next thing that I'm going to do here, which is my favorite thing to do, and what I'm doing is I'm fighting with my box. I couldn't get it out. If you all saw my desk, you would be like, oh my God, what is wrong with this woman? That Faber-Castell Pitt pen, I say this every time I do this technique. I hope you can hear the excitement in my voice. But I love these things. So what you do, as long as you have like a matte medium or a gesso as your base down, you can do this technique. And that is you color and you smudge and you highlight and you really get what you're looking for, and all you need is a tiny bit of a damp finger to get this look of this smudging, and then it gives me the shading that I want. So what I'm doing is I'm shading all around the different bits and pieces of paper, and again, I love this technique. I have to get more Pitt pens because there's a few colors, and sometimes when I'm art journaling, I'm like, oh, I need that color, and I don't have it. So I definitely have to get more of these. But it's just so amazing. And I left this in so that you could really see the shadowing that you get from this technique. It's so cool to watch, like in real life as well. If you haven't tried this technique, I suggest that you do. It's just so much fun, and it's really cool to see, and it really gives your projects that depth that they need to look absolutely amazing. I mean, truly, I could have just stopped right here after I was done with all of my shading and called it a night, but I didn't, you know, because it's art journaling and you just have to keep on going. After I did all of this lovely shading and called that done, I got my white Posca paint pen, and it has a fine tip to it, and I just added highlights all over. Well, not really all over, but there were some things that got lost after, you know, adding all of the collage medium and the paper smearing a bit and then adding the paint, and I really wanted some areas to stand out. So where you see me putting these lines, those are flowers, and I know it doesn't show up in the camera as much. Hopefully you'll be able to see it in the close-up shots at the end of the video. But I just wanted to get some highlighting done. And I really had a lot of fun outlining the leaves and the butterfly and stuff like that. And I left this in so that you could see that, you know, when I outlined an area and I wasn't completely happy with it, I was able to quickly wipe it away with my baby wipe that I've got to the side there. So this is not permanent until it fully dries. And I wanted you to see that so that you're not afraid to do something like this, because if you really hate it, you can just wipe it away with a baby wipe as long as you have one right next to you. Anyways, I hope that you were fully inspired by this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and please watch my videos all the way through. I really need the watch hours. YouTube is making some changes, and I'm gonna lose my status if I don't get the time watched that I need on my channel. So I would really appreciate that. Alrighty, all the links will be left below of the products that I used, as well as the links to grab the Calico Collage Fairy Garden Junk Journal Kit, which is amazing. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. Bye.